Branch Rickey for the Brooklyn Dodgers, he wasn't starting a diversity and inclusion program in New York. I said, let's be clear. I said, he was looking for talent. Yeah, and they laughed and got into it. I said, but also be clear. If Jackie can't play, it's over. That diversity and inclusion program is done. And then I kind of paused for a second and then I just said, Jackie didn't disappoint. I said, Jackie could flat out play. That's what they were looking for. They weren't looking for the diversity, they were looking for the talent. And the point of everything it is, we need to focus on talent. If you're good at something, you're going to get noticed. Flat out. I said, I don't even know how Jackie Robinson won the Rookie of the Year. Do you understand all the back flag that he's gotten for coming into the major leagues, and he wins Rookie of the Year? 2 years later, he wins MVP. A year or so after that, they won the championship. They won the pennant 6 times in his 10-year career. That's talent. We don't talk about that. All we talk about is the diversity portion of it. And we miss the talent portion of it, of how good of an athlete, how good of a baseball player, how great of a baseball player he was to make this change. And it wasn't a diversity story as much as it was a talent story. And so if we're going to focus on something, we need to focus on the talent, and that part gets missed. And I was talking with the young people, is they have to be talented. Focus on developing your talent. Focus on developing your skill sets. Those are things that are going to make the difference. Not just you being, of a diverse background or you being a female. That's nice add-on, but the question is, can you play? Can you play? At the end of the day, can you play? That's what people are looking for. And in that example, Jackie Robinson could flat out play. Had nothing to do with diversity, because if he can't play, I knew he was black when he got there. The question was, could he play? And oftentimes we're not really tracking whether somebody can play, and we're not really focusing as much on that as I think that we should, because that makes a difference at the end of the day. Whether you're playing a sport, whether you're going academics, whether you're in business, do you have talent in this area that you're trying to pursue? And are you working at developing that talent? Do you understand the skill sets? Each individual thing that we want to do in life has a specific skill set attached to it. It's very easy when you're playing football. There's a combine to get into the NFL. They're tracking your foot speed. They're tracking how high you can jump. There's a cone run that they're timing. There's how, if you're a passer, how far you can throw, how quick you can get the ball out of your hands. There's a test. In school, there's a test to make honor roll. How did you do in math class? How did you do in reading? How did you do in science? All these things come together, give you a grade, give you whether you're talented or not. Same thing in baseball. When you get into corporate America, you don't have as many tests. You get a few annual reviews where somebody says, I guess you're kind of good, I like you. But that doesn't really test your skill sets at your particular job. If you're an accountant, how often do they go over your skill sets for attention to the details, the ability to focus? How often do you go over those things? We don't have as much skill sets in corporate America, in business, as we do in other things. So we tend to drift away from understanding our talent and our skill sets, where we need to drift closer to it. There are individuals who really sharpen their skills, whether it's continued training in different areas. They recognize a skill set that they need, and they go to school or take a class for it, or they recognize something else they need to get it better. Other people go through their whole corporate career, don't take an extra class, no training, no workshop, no additional anything. They go through with the same skill set that they came into the company with, plus whatever they've gained through on-the-job training. Sometimes that's not enough to really reach the talent level that's necessary and the ongoing talent level to get better. So those are just interesting things that I talked about different times when I talk.